Hi guys, this is Jere again with just another little short Lightroom video about using the detail panel. This is where you reduce the noise and also sharpen your images a little bit. Now, by the way, reducing the noise will not compensate for something that's underexposed, and sharpening will not compensate for something that's not focused. So just understand right from the get-go that the image still has to be focused sharply. It still has to be exposed properly. Well, having said that, here's an old file here done in 2005, taken at night, late evening actually. And you can see that the light, actually the only light that I have going on here, is coming from the actual piece itself, which is a window that's backlit from inside and has all these soaps that they had on display. I just love the translucent quality of all these things and opaque quality, some shapes and some you can see through. Just kind of a nice little bunch of color here. Now this image needs a lot, but I just want to talk about using the detail panel over here, just to keep this video on the short side here. So I'm going to open up this detail panel over here. And I've got two things I can work with: sharpening, first one, and noise reduction. And these should actually be the other way around, because of the two, you're going to be doing noise reduction first and then doing sharpening second. Reason for that is there's no sense sharpening the noise that's in the image. So you want to reduce it and then sharpen the image after. It's kind of logical there. Now I see this little exclamation point over here. Let's click on that and see what we get. So that just blows our image up bigger so that we can see what's going on. And when this is blown up, I get a little box over here in the navigator. And by the way, I'll close the navigator here so you can see that I have the navigator open over here, which helps me find my way around the image. And indeed, I can see plenty of noise. Matter of fact, that's 1-to-1. Let's go 2-to-1. And we can really see what's happening with the noise. Boy. So, pretty grainy. Looks like I was using ISO 3200 speed. I don't even think my camera went up that fast back then, but here we go. Now watch what happens. Noise reduction. This first control here is luminance, and then you have detail and contrast down here that you work with. The color ones you don't really have to work with too much unless you see a lot of color fringing, and this will help you smooth some of that out. Fringing meaning edges around stuff that you want to kind of blend that color. Or if you have an awful lot of color specks showing up in here, this will help get rid of that. By the way, I have a little file I've included in this folder in Lightroom, this module to help you with these things. So you can always download that and it talks you through it, as long as you can see some examples that I've got there. So let's go. Luminance. Let's bring this guy. What happens when we go all the way? Okay, well, it gets rid of the noise, but it also gets rid of the image to a certain extent. Thank God it's backlit. That helps with the sharpness of the thing. So I want to try to find a happy medium here. I'm thinking maybe right around 70 or something for this image. 70. Look at the difference. I'm going to use the backslash key to show you before. There's before. There we go. There's after. Before, after, before, after. So it did do quite a bit. Detail. Let's see what happens with detail when we go all the way over here. Well, we get the noise back, and here we get rid of the noise. So I'm thinking maybe a happy medium. And contrast, I suspect it'll be very similar. All the way over, noise comes up a little bit, but we want to keep that contrast going here. Okay, now let's go up to sharpening. And let's see what you did before and after. Let's do a before and a after. Oof. Okay, sharpening up here. Now we mushed out the image. Let's see if we can make it a little bit sharper or show the edges show up a little bit more. So I'm going to bring this sharpening up to maybe, I don't know, probably, it's starting to see at 75. We're bringing it up to 100. Look at how it starts to get really awful. As a matter of fact, I get not noise, but some other weirdness happening here. So I don't know what you call that, but I don't like it. So I'm going to bring this down to maybe about 68, something like that. And we'll see how we're doing there. The radius, what radius does. Now there's a little trick with the radius and also detail and masking, in that you use the Alt button or the Option button. So I'm going to hold down on the Option key here, press radius, and look at that. I kind of just see the edges of things, and I can work with how much I want this to show up. Now usually with radius I don't go past 1.2. So that's pretty heavy on the radius. I'm going to keep this right around 9, something like that. Seems a good middle of the road kind of thing. Detail is a similar kind of thing. Detail kind of keeps the, if I go far over, then I'll get some of that grain back. So I just want to kind of keep some of those details. And masking is an interesting one. What masking does is take the sharpening out. So if I have flat areas that I don't want to sharpen, I can use this masking to do that. So when its default is everything is masked, everything is sharpened. So if I bring this all the way over, I will highly select just the areas that I want to sharpen. Now just to show you this better, let's go back to a fit image, so it'll fit the whole frame, and we'll do this again. So I've got this on 100%. Well, I can allow a little bit of that to sharpen out there. But I definitely don't want to sharpen the shadow where all that noise is. So I want to kind of suppress that if possible. So there we go. There's my image there. I'm going to blow this up bigger so you can see. And we'll try to do a before and after. You know, that's 2 to 1. That's pretty good size there. Let's go 1 to 1. Maybe that'll be a little bit more human range here. And there we go. That is with all the effects on. And I'll press the backslash key and we'll give it a second, and that's with the effects off. So you can really see it up at the top there and some of these signs, how grainy they get. So on back, that's where it was before, and that's where it was with the detail done. So you do this towards the end of your workflow. You do the detail, and actually sharpening is something you do 3 times. You know, you do sharpening when you bring the image into Lightroom, and that's what I just did here. That's called recovery sharpening. And then you do local sharpening, which I can go into individual areas within here, individual objects, and make them sharper than the surrounding area, bring a little attention to them. And then I can do output sharpening when I go to print and prepare the image to look good on a piece of paper. So sharpening really is done in three stages here. So that's all about the detail panel, and pretty short little video, but that'll make your images look nice, especially when you're trying to print them out or blow them up bigger. So good luck.